So we are looking at types of square matrices. So one type of a square matrix is an identity matrix. Identity matrix is a matrix which is of any order. It can be order 3 or order 4 or order 2, any order. But the identity matrix is defined to be a matrix where whenever you have I is equal to j, that element is 1 and any other element is 0. So basically you are saying that diagonal elements in the square matrix are 1 and other elements are 0. Other elements are 0. That is an identity matrix. So next type of matrix we'll see is a diagonal matrix. What is a diagonal matrix? Same idea. Diagonal matrix is every non-diagonal element should be 0, right? So A is a diagonal matrix if 3 0 0, for example, this is a diagonal matrix. So Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to j. This is the definition of a diagonal matrix. Uh, this is slightly different from identity matrix because identity matrix is a diagonal matrix with entries 1, is also diagonal, but all the entries in the identity matrix are 1. Okay, so next one that we'll look at is scalar matrix. Scalar matrix. Scalar matrix is basically any matrix A which is like a scalar multiple of the identity matrix. So it will look like C0 0 0 C 0 0 0 C. This is a scalar matrix. It is a scalar multiple of the identity matrix, right? So any identity matrix you take and you multiply with a constant number scalar, that is a scalar matrix. Because why are we defining a special matrix for this? Because many times you have a you'll have a situation, at least in one specific case, you have a situation where you have a polynomial in matrices.
Yeah.
Right? Then this matrix will be written as actually 4i, and that will be a scalar matrix. We'll see that soon. We'll when we do Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we'll realize what is happening. But right now, you just know the definition of a scalar matrix is this. It's the multiple of the identity matrix. Then fourth type would be upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix is a matrix that looks like this: 1 2 3 0 4 5 0 0 6. Basically, the definition of this matrix is Aij is equal to 0 when
I is greater than j.
I is greater than j. So when I is greater than j, what is happening is the row number is bigger than the column number. Row number is going to be bigger than column number in this half. Here, row number is greater than column number. So whenever row number is greater than column number, the matrix entries are 0. That is called a upper triangular matrix, right? Similarly, you will have something called a lower triangular matrix, which will be the opposite of that. Whenever column number is greater than row number, that will be 0. So it will be like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 0 0 0. So here this is the diagonal, and whenever column number Aij is equal to 0 when j is greater than I or I is less than j. Here column number is greater than row number. Sparsh, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So these are just definitions right now that we are seeing. Slowly we'll have occasion to use them also. So right now we are just seeing different types of matrices. Then there is a symmetric matrix. Symmetric matrix is defined by the simple rule that it is a matrix which satisfies this property: Aij is equal to Aji. Okay, Aij is equal to Aji means it will be like this: 1 2 3 4, 2 3 4, 5 6 7, 6 7, and 8 9 9 10. For example, see here, the column is identical with the row. This second row is identical with second column. Third row is identical with third column. Fourth row is identical with fourth column. Or basically you can say that Aij is equal to Aji. So every position, this is for example position number, this is first row third column, 1 3 position is same as third row first column, right? This is called a symmetric matrix. Okay, so I hope this is clear. What is a symmetric matrix? The 1 3 position, the element here will be same as element in 3 1. Element in 2 4 will be same as element in 4 2. Okay, so 2 4 is what? Second row fourth column. 7 should be same as fourth row second column, right? That is the meaning of a symmetric matrix. Then we have something called a skew symmetric matrix. Skew symmetric matrix. This is similar to symmetric matrix definition. The only difference is Aij will be equal to Molly.
Aij is equal to minus Aji.
Aij is equal to minus Aji. So this implies that all diagonal elements are zero. So we'll take examples on the next screen. For example, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, and -1, -2, -3, 0, say -4, -5, and this will be this will be 4 and 5. It will be 0 6, and this will be -6. This will be 0. So notice here that all the diagonal elements are 0, because if Aij is supposed to be minus Aij is supposed to be minus Aji, in case j is equal to I, you should have Aii is equal to minus of Aii, right? So you'll get 2Aii is 0, therefore Aii is 0. So all the diagonal elements have to be 0 by logic. So these diagonal elements are 0, and the other elements are negative of each other. So 1, this becomes -1, 2 becomes -2, 3 becomes -3, and so on. So see, all the other elements are negatives of each other. So that is called a skew symmetric matrix, right? Now, can you prove there is a lemma which says that if A is a square matrix, if A is a square matrix, okay, before this we have to understand what is transpose of a matrix. What is a transpose of a matrix? So if A is a matrix like this, A, B, C, D, right? A transpose is written like this. This is the symbol for transpose. A transpose will be A, B, C, D. What have I done here? I have taken the row and made it into a column. this row and this row. This was the first row and this was the second row. I have made this into the first column and this is the second column. Right? See, CD was the second row, it has become second column. So if I have a matrix like this, matrix like this 1 0 1 2 3 0 minus 1 1 2, what is the transpose of this? This transpose will be equal to, Sparsh, tell me.
Yes, I've just switched the column, you know. So 1 0, I mean this in one line,
Like this.
1 0 1 2 3 0 minus 1 1 2.
Yeah, so all the rows and columns are going to switch. So first row will become like this, and this is the transpose. So what I want to now show is that if A is a square matrix, then one, A plus A transpose is symmetric and A minus A transpose is skew symmetric. We want to prove this. A plus A transpose is symmetric and A minus A transpose is skew symmetric.
So that is means any 2 into 2 thing, no?
A is a square matrix means any, not just 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, anything. So try to recall the definition of symmetric and skew symmetric, right? Symmetric was such that Aij was equal to Aji, right? That was symmetric matrix. So that just means, see, when you do Aij is equal to Aji, that means A is equal to A transpose, no? That was for symmetric matrix. Notice why? Because when you are doing transpose, that is what you are doing. When you convert rows to columns, you have made this 1 cross 2 element into a 2 cross 1 element, right? So transpose operation is same as reversing Aij and Ji. But if Aij is equal to Aji, that means you are saying that that is a symmetric matrix. So that means it should be A is equal to A transpose is the condition for symmetric. For skew symmetric, you have to say Aij is equal to minus Aji. That means A is equal to minus of A transpose. That is what you have to say for skew symmetric. So this is the understanding of skew symmetric, that you do the transpose and then you put a minus sign. And the elements here become 0. Diagonal elements become 0. Sparsh, are you understanding?
Yes,
So then now we should be able to prove this. Don't prove it by putting values and all. You can prove it in general because it's not so difficult. So
so for the first one, if I just write, I have to prove A equals 80, no, basically.
you have to prove that if A is a square matrix, you have to prove that A plus A transpose is symmetric. That means, let's call it as a B matrix. Let's call this as B. You have to prove basically B is equal to B transpose. So basically, let's try to find out what is B transpose. A plus A transpose to the power you have to take transpose of this thing. So that is just going to be A transpose plus A transpose transpose. So this is A transpose, and 2 times if you do transpose, it becomes the same thing, right? Correct. 2 transpose you do, 2 times transpose you do, you have interchanged it 2 times, so it becomes the same as original. So B transpose is becoming A transpose plus A, which is same as B. So in general, you can prove that this matrix is always going to be symmetric. This matrix is always going to be symmetric, and this matrix A minus A transpose is always going to be skew symmetric by the same method. You can say that you have to prove that B is equal to minus B transpose for skew symmetric, and B is equal to A minus A transpose. So let's try to take the transpose of this. That is A minus A transpose transpose, which is equal to A transpose minus A transpose transpose, which is equal to A transpose minus A, which is equal to minus of B. So we have shown that B transpose is equal to minus of B. So this matrix is definitely skew symmetric. So now this tells us an important thing, that any matrix, given any matrix, you can always write it as a sum of two matrices, which is one of them is symmetric, one of them is skew symmetric. So any matrix A can be written as half of this is the symmetric part, and this is the skew symmetric part. Any matrix A, here obviously A transpose and all gets cancelled, so you don't have to worry about that. This is an identity, and now you have shown that A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix and A minus A transpose is skew symmetric matrix. So any matrix can be written as sum of a symmetric plus a skew symmetric matrix. Understand? Parsh, is it clear everything here?
Yes.
Okay. Then one obvious lemma is there, that if A is symmetric, then K times A is also symmetric. And same is for skew symmetric also. Basically, multiplication by the scalar doesn't change the nature of the matrix. Multiplication by a scalar doesn't change the nature of the matrix. So that is an obvious statement. Then we look at matrix multiplication now. Matrix multiplication. So first thing you have to realize is, let's say there are two matrices, right? One second. I want to motivate it a little bit. So 2 minus 2 minus 3, 6, 5, 10, and 4 minus 2, 7, 1, 5, 3, minus 3, 1, minus 1, 5, 2, 1. These are the two matrices. One second. So the question is basically this. This is a question, write A and B in terms of X, Y, Z, and W, where you are given these relations. A is equal to 2m minus 3n plus 5p. M is equal to wait. B is equal to minus 2m plus 6n plus 10p, and X is equal to, no, not X. M is equal to 4x minus 2y plus 7z plus w. N is equal to 5x plus 3y minus 3z plus w, and p is equal to minus x plus 5y plus 2z plus w. So now suppose this was a question given to you, right? Write A and B in terms of x, y, z, and w, and you had this much information, right? So A and B is given in terms of m, n, and p, and m and p itself are given in terms of 4 variables, right? So what would you do now? A normal person would have done m as this, just put the values, right? Right. To express it, what would you do? 2 times m value, right? Minus 3 times n value plus 5 times p value, right?
Yeah.
Correct. This is what you would have done, no?
Yes.
Okay. So, and similarly for B as well. B as well, you would have done minus 2 times the whole m thing plus 6 times the whole thing and plus 10 times the whole thing, right? Correct. So we can represent this through something called matrix multiplication, where we are basically representing this m and p using the matrix this. Notice that this is the coefficient matrix, no? See, 4, minus 2, 7, 1, and x, y, z, w are here. This is a linear combination, so m is equal to this, n is equal to this. These are the this is a system of 3 equations with 4 unknowns, right? With 3 unknowns, m, n, p are unknowns, x, y, z, w are the variables, right? So this is the coefficient matrix for this, right? And similarly, this is the coefficient matrix for A and B in terms of m and p, right? M and p. So now, what is the order of this matrix? This is basically 2 cross 3, right? 2 cross 3, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this was 3 cross 3 rows and 4 columns, right? 3 cross 4, right? Order of these matrices are this. Now, think about what would have happened if there was an extra column here, right? Extra column here. That means there is a new variable here, no? W and some V would have been here, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
So there would have been an extra column, suppose here. So V would have been here. Then can you express A and B then in terms of just X, Y, Z, and W then? No, no.
So if my V has all terms 0, 0, 0, then
What?
if my V has only like 0, 0, 0 term, coefficient of
Then
V.
so then there is no V, no? Then it's the same question. I'm saying if there is some term V here, right?
Okay. Then we
If
context.
it is 0, 0, 0, so then so there is no V, right? Then you're saying that there is no V. If there is another column, suppose, which is not 0, right? Then you have a new variable here, no? V, right?
Yes.
In M and P, there will be some V's. So then A and B cannot be expressed in terms of just X, Y, Z, W, right? Correct.
Yes.
Suppose here you had another row here, suppose, right? Right. Okay, so row doesn't matter here because C also could have been expressed in the same way, right? C, row means C is equal to this, right? Correct. Suppose this,
If you introduce a row in XYZ, mein,
if you introduce a row in which one? This one, no? Second
so I
one.
mean, after you introduce another M and P O term, no?
हाँ,
Then we
अगर
have
एक M and P O term was here in this, right? Then O term would be also dependent on this, right? So then O term is there, is also XYZ. Then A and B would have been M and P, and then you would have gotten M and P in terms of XYZ. Okay, then maybe the understanding of A and B is not very clear here. One second. What I want to show is that it is important that the order is matching. The number of rows of this, number of columns of this is same as number of rows of this. That is what I want to show. Let me think for a bit. Uh, mm, okay. Right now it is not clear why number of columns of this. Number of columns of this must match number of rows of this. Number of columns of this means if there is more column here, suppose one more column here, then you have A is in terms of one more variable, right? And that variable is no longer there, no? Oh, okay, that makes sense. If there is one more variable here, Q, right? And you have only 3 here, that means you don't have Q here, right? Then you cannot express Q away, right? You cannot express Q in terms of X, Y, Z, W, right? Are you understanding? What I'm saying is if there is an extra column here, right? Then you have to have a variable here Q, right? Correct?
There be a 2 into 4 type matrix, no?
Huh?
Then the first matrix will be 2 into 4 matrix.
First one will become a 2 cross 4, right? And second one, suppose we are unchanged, right? Then you only have M and P, right? Then how will you can remove M and P, but you cannot remove Q then, right?
We haven't introduced a Q in the question.
What?
Like we have introduced a Q in the question.
We are trying to understand when does it make sense that you can express A and B in terms of X, Y, Z, W. Only when it is like this, right? You cannot have unknown Q also here and no Q here, right?
Yeah.
If you
Basically,
have
we need a equation of Q in terms of X, Y, Z.
we don't have an equation of Q in terms of X, Y, Z. No, if there is unknown, no Q here, right?
Yeah.
So then you cannot express it, and therefore you will not be able to write A and B in terms of X, Y, Z, and W, just these. So what we want to understand is what do we do when we do this calculation? What are we actually doing? You are sort of taking a dot product. You are taking a dot product of what things? So we'll see that. So suppose you have a matrix like this: 2, -3, 5, and you have -2, 6, 10. This is one matrix, and the other matrix was 4, 5, -1, and you have -2, 3, 5. You have 7, -3, 2, 1, 1, 1. So what happens if you take a dot product of this with a dot product of this with this dot product of this with this, right? So what is this? 2 -3, 5 is a vector, and this is my vector. This is a row vector, this is a column vector. To take dot product, it becomes 2 into 4 plus
Eight,
minus
yeah.
3 into 5 plus 5 into minus 1. So this becomes 8 minus 15 minus 5, 8 minus 20, so minus 12, right? So
Yeah.
so you get minus 12 into x. You get minus 12 into x because this one was, see, the first one was, the first matrix was what? The first matrix was for A in terms of A and B in terms of M and P, right? And the second matrix was basically M and P in terms of X, Y, Z, W. In terms of X, Y, Z, W, right? So if you wanted to find out A in terms of X, Y, Z, W, right? Then you should A and B in terms of X, Y, Z, W. Finally, you should have a matrix which has two rows, right? A and B, right? You should have a matrix like this. Should you end up with a matrix like this if you want an answer like this? You understand?
Yeah.
You see here A and B had three variables, no? So you had 2 cross 3 matrix, right? And here M and P were written in terms of 4 variables. So you had 3 cross 4 matrix, 3 rows for each of the M and P and 4 columns for each of the variables, right? Finally, you want to express A and B in terms of 4 things, right? So you should have 2 rows, one is for A and one is for B, right? So if you want to form this A thing, you have to write it in terms of X, Y, Z, W. You want a coefficient of X, coefficient of Y, coefficient of Z, coefficient of W, right?
Wanted 2 cross.
Correct. 2 cross 4 आना चाहिए, right? And
Yes.
each of the X, Y, Z, W, the spaces here are basically telling you coefficients of X, Y, Z, and W, right?
Yes, sir.
So now notice that if you had done the calculation properly, like a normal way, write the equations, do the calculations, right? Pishle screen pe what we had done, right? So just check it, it will come minus 12 for x. The x value will come out to be minus 12. Just check it once. Like we can write the equations, no? A is equal to 2m minus 3n plus 5p. And m was how many x? 4x, right? M had 4x, right?
Yes, sir.
8. And n had 5x, right? Minus 15. And p had minus 1, so minus 5, right? So should come out to be minus 12 x's have come, no? Right? Finally,
Yes, sir.
A will have minus 12x, right?
I put the whole value of m in this.
A whole value of n, whole value of p in that equation, and m.
Yeah, it took minus 12.
It will come minus 12. So basically, what people noticed is what this, if you wrote the first equation as a matrix and second equation as a matrix, right? Second set of equations as a matrix, then dot product of column with row with column, right, is giving you this coefficient, right? Minus 12, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you do the same thing again and again. So what will give you the B, right? This you need y, A in terms of y, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Then you do dot product of this with the y column,
Yes, sir.
right? And then you do dot product with the z column, right? So let's do dot product of this vector, A vector only, 2 with the y column here, right? So 2 into minus 2, minus 4, minus 4 and minus 9, minus 13, and 5 and 5, 25. So plus 12 should come, right? This should be plus 12.
9.
Minus 6, minus 4, minus 9, and 25, right?
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
And then you do the dot product of this with this one to get the z column, right? Right? So basically matrix multiplication works like this. It's a set of dot products, right? Okay. And how do you multiply? You can write like this: Aij cross with Bjk. You have to multiply these two matrices, and the only way multiplication is defined when number of columns of A are matching number of rows of B. Then only it is defined. So this J and J must match, right? So this J and J must match. So this is your matrix basically, right? This is the matrix. This is order of the matrix. Then the elements will be, each element would be summation of I, J. The elements will be A, wait one second, summation of Ij, Ik into, okay, summation over K actually. Wait. I will just rub it off. Okay, I should not have done that. Huh. So this is just summation over K, Ik and B, Kj. So let's try to understand how many will be there. K is equal to 1 to, K goes from 1 to, what is the maximum? J, 1 to J.
J.
J is the order, right? I should have not named it as I in this. I should have named it differently. Wait. These ones are not so important. So A, N, and M, right? So K goes from 1 to J, and this is N, I think. No, N and M doesn't matter, no? No, I think it is same. I only.
No, it makes sense if N goes from 1 to J, no?
N goes from, okay, fine, but one second. I'll just see it and then do it. So if it is like this, A, B, C, D, and this is E, F, G, I, suppose, right? So you are going to do what? You are going to do dot product of this with this to get the first element here, and do dot product of this with this column to get the second element here. Okay. So AE plus BG, and then this one will be AF plus BI, and then you'll do dot product of this with this. So what are the dot products happening? So basically you are multiplying, you're writing this as A11 into B11 plus A12 into B21, right? That is your first element in this final matrix. C11 is this, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
C12 will be this element. 12 is this element. That is basically A11 into B12.
So it'll be A21, no? So A21 into B12, no? A second row, first column.
No,
A21 into B12.
AF plus BI, no, it is this one. A11 into,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right?
fine.
And then B, and then plus BI. BI is A12 into
B22.
B22, right? So notice that whatever element you need here, I and J, that I and J remains, and summation is over the intermediate variable, right? Right. Whatever you need at the end, right? 1, 2. See, 1 and 2 outermost are still same, right? And this is varying, right? You understand? So now I can write the rule. Cij will be equal to summation of Aik, Bk, kj, right? And k goes from 1 to j, right? Correct. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So suppose you wanted to find in the product of a matrix, you wanted to find 3 cross 4, right? Right. So you would have done summation of a 3i b I 4. All of the terms I starts from 1 and goes however many are there, right? However many j's are there, no? J is common across a and b, no? Then only the matrix multiplication is defined, no? You understand? 3 cross 5 is A and B is 5 cross 4 is B. Then final matrix will be C, will be 3 cross 4. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the summation, if you wanted to find a element 3 cross 4, so somewhere here, right, in C34, right? If you wanted to find C34, you have to do a summation of, see, this 3 and the 4 remain same, right?
Yeah,
Outer
exactly
summations,
the
right?
use of it.
And the I inside the variable is the summation, right? So it will be A 31 B 14 plus A 32 B 24 plus A 33 B 34, right? Plus A, how many are there?
4 Sudu.
3 4 is also there. 3 cross 4 is also there, an element here, right? And B 4 cross 5 is also there. 4 cross 4 is also there, right? And A 3 cross 5, no, that is 3 5 is there, and B 5 4 is there, no?
Yeah.
So basically, what have I done? I have taken the third row of A, right? See, third row of A would have looked like this: A 3 1 3 2, and there are 5 columns, so it will go till 3 5. And I have taken the fourth column, right? Fourth column of B, right? Fourth column of B is B 1 4 B 2 4 until B. How many rows are there? 5 rows are there. 5 4, right? And I have taken the dot product of this and the dot product of this, right? That is the meaning of this summation. This summation is just the dot product of this vector with this vector. And the reason the dot product is possible is because number of elements of this vector is 5 and number of rows of this vector is 5, right? That is why dot product was possible, right? Sparsh, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cool, no? This is clear now?
Yes, sir.
So matrix multiplication is possible only when order of columns and rows are matching, and how it has come is also clear. And it will be useful in contexts where one time you have expressed something in terms of some variables, and then those same variables were expressed in terms of some other variables, and you want to get the connection between the first and the last set. So you can take a matrix multiplication, write the first set of equations as a matrix, second set of equations as a matrix, and final, if you want, you will just matrix multiply those two. Maybe you don't want the whole thing, you only want one particular coefficient, then you need to find the appropriate dot product that you have to do, right? So that is what this matrix multiplication is. Now so for example, find out, do one example. A is 1 comma minus 1 3 1 7 2, and B is 3, 2, 1, 2, minus 1, 5. Find A into AB. Find AB.
Take the row into column. Row into column. Three, two, one, two, plus one, row and dot column. 1 into 3, 3. And 1. It will be in the form of 3 into 3 matrix.
It will be 3 into 3 matrix.
This is for 1. 2. I can put 1 into 2. 2 into 3. 1. Minus 4. Yeah.
And then similarly, you do
Yes.
this and this. 9
Yeah.
plus 2, 11. And you do this 6 minus 2 minus 1, 5. And you do 3 plus 5, 8. You do 7 into 21 plus 4, 25 here. And you do 14 minus 2, 12 here. And you do 7 plus 10, 17 here, right?
Yes.
You are doing this, so it should be clear, fairly clear. And obviously, AB will not in general be equal to BA, right? Not commutative matrix multiplication. In general, it is not commutative. So if you try to do BA, right? BA is 2 cross 3 cross 3 cross 2, right? So BA should be a what type of matrix finally?
2 into 2 square matrix.
So obviously, see, this is 3 cross 3 matrix and BA is 2 cross 2 matrix, right? Right?
Yeah.
So it's not commutative. So 2 cross 2 matrix, if you are doing, so you are doing this
A row and the first.
cross this, right? This and this dot product. So 3 plus 6 plus 7. So 16 and this, then it becomes 3 into minus 3 plus 2 minus 1 plus 2. So
Plus 1.
plus 1, and then 2 minus 3 minus 1 plus 35. So 34, and 2 minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 plus 10, so 7, right? This is the result of BA, right? Correct. So AB is not in general equal to BA. It is not a commutative thing. Now another theorem that we will see now is uh, if the matrix product, if the matrix product AB exists, then prove that AB transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose. Okay.
Now to prove this,
Hmm. Okay. So how would you prove it? So in general, you have to prove it. So think about,
Transpose of it again.
so
No, wait.
So
no,
can you
you
give us
cannot
like
assume it
2
and prove it. Yeah.
to start?
Yeah. What were you asking?
Can you give us like 2 minutes
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you start giving hints?
Yeah. Yeah. Take 2 minutes.
Like, should I like start with taking A as a M into N type matrix, then my B as some N
So
type stuff?
think about uh, when is the matrix product. uh, you have to finally prove that these two matrices are equal, no? Right? X and Y are equal, you have to prove, right? Correct.
Yes.
So you know from equality of matrices, order should be same, right? And second thing, entries should be same, corresponding entries, right? Right?
Yeah.
That is what is the meaning of equality. So first convince yourself that the order of this and this are same, right? So you can take A as some anything, n cross m, right? If matrix product is defined, then B should be m cross P, right?
Yeah.
So AB would be n cross P, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. So AB transpose will be P
B.
cross n, right? Right.
Yeah.
And B transpose will be P cross M, right? And A transpose will be M
N.
cross N. So B transpose into A transpose will be,
P cross N.
so it is matching at least the orders, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Order is matching, entries should also match. So you have to show that any arbitrary entry of this matrix, right? So AB transpose is a P cross N matrix. So let's take IJ entry of AB transpose, right? Should match the IJ entry of B transpose A transpose, right? Correct.
Yes.
Correct, no? So IJ entry of AB transpose, isn't it same as the JI entry of AB?
Yeah.
That is the meaning of transpose, right? It is the JI entry of AB, right? Correct.
Yes.
So ji entry of AB would have come by ji entry of AB is needed. So you have to take jth row of A and ith column of B and do dot product, right? A is a
J.
jth row
I.
and ith column of B, no? Then only when you do a dot product, you will get ji entry, no? A, J something, dot product with B, I, right? And you have to do summation over the star, right? Whatever. It will keep varying, right?
Yes.
Correct? You have to take a dot product now, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
So now, but you know that dot product is commutative, no? A dot B is same as B dot A. This is like a vector, right? This is like a vector, this is like a vector, right? And you're doing dot product, right?
Yes.
This row elements are like a vector, no? This is a vector. And this is a vector, column vector, right? You are doing in dot product of these two vectors, no, to get the ji entry, right?
Yes.
So you can write the same dot product as B star I dot A J star, right? Correct? Because dot product is commutative, right?
Yes, sir.
So isn't that the same as B star I? Isn't it the transpose of
This is
I
BA.
star transpose?
Yeah.
And this is A star J transpose.
Yeah, it's proved now.
Now it is proved, no? Now it is a summation of this. This is BA, product of B transpose and J transpose. I star J transpose. This is just the product of BT and AT. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So basically you are saying this is the meaning of the product. First we confirmed order was same. Then we try to think what is the meaning of AB transpose, right? AB transpose ka I and jth entry is the J cross I entry of AB, right? J cross I entry of AB will be gotten like this. But the dot product is commutative. So this vector and this vector you can write as this into this. And this is just the, if you think of this vector, it is just the vector of I star in the transpose, right? And this is star J transpose. So this product is defined. They are matching. So it is just BI AJ transpose multiplication, right? So that is the proof. Okay. Now basically now you know multiplication and also some basic things you can do now. Now we will look at some other ideas. So now remember that in the previous class when we were doing linear independence and all, right? You were doing system of equations. We did system of equations, linear dependence, and so on. So when we wrote system of equations like this, b1 x plus 3y is plus 4z is equal to b2, and 4x minus 3y 4x minus 2y minus 3z is equal to b3, right? We wrote something like this. Now this we wrote as a coefficients like this. No, we can also write it like this: 3 5 1 1 3 4 4 minus 2 minus 3
XYZ.
with the product with xyz is equal to b1 b2 b3. Remember when we were doing last chapter, we had written a combined matrix of this, right?
There's a B column also.
There's a B column also. We had written B2 4 minus 2 minus 3 B3, right? and we were trying to get it to a row reduced echelon form, right, by doing basic operations, right, so that we can just read off the answers, right? Correct. You can also write it like this. Now you can write it in terms of a product of two matrices. This is my coefficient matrix. This is my unknown vector that I want. X, Y, Z is the vector, and this is my final output vector. Notice that it works out nicely because this is, say, 3 cross 3, and this is 3 cross 1, and finally it becomes 3 cross 1, right? Basically, it fits in the form of matrix multiplication also, right? Matrix multiplication is here defined. So you need to find the X, Y, Z entries of your X vector. So this is matrix multiplication only. And now our job is basically to try to get X from here. How to find X from here? So if we could have something like a division operation, then you could have written X, right? But division of matrices is not in general defined. What is only defined is multiplication of matrices. So if I multiply it with some new matrix called A inverse and A and X, and you got A inverse and B, both sides I have multiplied by A inverse. Here A inverse is a matrix that is such is defined as something that does this. A inverse into A should give the identity matrix. If basically A inverse is defined as a matrix which if you multiply with A you get identity matrix. So this will become I into X is equal to A inverse into B. Then X will become A inverse into B. I identity A matrix into any matrix is going to be same as that matrix. You can check this. A, B, C, D, multiply it with 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, right? What does it become? A dot product A plus 0, and this becomes 0 plus B. You'll see that the product is same, right? So you are solving the equation by multiplying with a matrix A inverse, which is such that it cancels off the operation of this A matrix. So A inverse into A is going to be equal to I. So the answer will be A inverse into B. Solution of this equation is A inverse into B. But the problem is that you have to ensure that A inverse exists. Not always will there be a nice matrix like this. A inverse should exist. If A inverse exists, you also have to find A inverse.
How do you find A inverse?
So we'll see that. Right now we are not seeing it immediately. We'll see that soon in due course of time.
Which any question which is in this form, I'll just multiply by A inverse and do it. Because then question is over.
No, I mean, right now it is not yet done. First of all, A inverse should be there. No, so there should be a matrix that will satisfy this, right? A inverse should exist. And then if A inverse exists, then it is fine. Then it is over. Then you multiply by A inverse and X is equal to this only, right? So you have to find A inverse then, right? Finding A inverse will be important then, right? And then doing the multiplication of A inverse into B, right? Correct. So the whole point of solving a system of equations will be if solution exists, that means A inverse exists, then solution will be X is equal to A inverse B, right? You have to find A inverse for that though. Find A inverse is important step here. Like otherwise you'll not be able to do the solution. So that is important. 1 second. So one identity, we'll come to this soon. So don't worry about it right now. One theorem is there. which is important. So the product AX, okay, where A is a matrix, and X is a column vector. Column vector means just like this, right? 1 1, right? This is a column vector X, which is n cross 1, right? Is a linear combination of the columns of A, of the columns of A. Now precisely if you write, if A is m cross n, right, then A multiplied by this column vector x1, x2, xn, right, will just be simply x1 into A star 1 plus x2 into A star 2 plus xn into A star n. What do I mean by this? So think about it. A is m cross n, no? A is m cross n. So A has m rows. This is A1, 1, A2, 1, AM1, and it has 2, 1, 3, 1. No, what am I doing? One row, one column. This is first row into second column. 1 second. First row, second column, like this. And how many columns are there? N columns are there, right? So n first row into nth column, and similarly A second row, third column, and this is A2n, and similarly this is AMN, right? This is my A matrix, no? Correct. And if I do a product of with X matrix, right? So A was m cross n, and this was n cross 1. So what should be the answer? What is the order of the answer? M cross 1.
Yeah.
M cross 1 means m rows and one column only, no? M rows and one column, right? Wait, what am I doing? M cross 1, yes. Correct. Correct. So I think what will happen here, m rows and one column will come. So let's do the multiplication. Multiplication will be, first one will be just this vector into this vector, right? Column vector, right? Correct. The star means the star is going from 1 to m, right? So what
Wait,
is
so when you do multiplication, I'll write A11 into x1 plus A12 into x2, no? As I have to write, no?
this is m cross 1, no? Final thing. Final thing का order क्या है बताओ?
M cross 1 only, yeah.
M cross 1. So first entry will be what? How many entries will be there?
Only one, but there be one
M entries, no?
till M row.
M entries will be there, no?
Yes.
So M rows are there in one column only, right? So if you find out this element A11, right? C11, right? C11 will be what? The dot product of first row and first column,
Yes.
right? So that will just be A11 into
One.
x1 plus A12 into x2. So that is what is happening. The star is 1 here, right? Star is 1 in that case, right?
Yes, sir.
That is C11, right? And then what is C21? What is C21?
Star
Second
becomes
row,
two.
star becomes 2, right? And there will be total m stars, right? CM1 tak, right? So this is just telling you one particular entry, right? One particular entry of it, right? Star is a summation, by the way, right? Star goes from 1 to n, no?
Yes.
Right? So, Molly, are you following?
Yeah.
So, this becomes x1 into A11, x2 into A12
That will be
until
one.
1n.
That will be C11. Then C21 will be when star is 2.
Yeah. So what I will write is basically C star 1, right? Column is always 1, is equal to summation of is basically x1 into A
Star 1.
star 1 plus x2 into A star 2 and so on, right? Till xn into A star n, right? This is what had come. So it's like a summation over the x I goes from 1 to n, A star I, right? A C star
1.
1, huh? Star 1, C star I, no, 1.
1 only.
Correct. So the significance of this will be obvious if you understand the geometry of it in some sense. 1 second. Okay, for now, just remember that what has happened. We have done A into x1, x2, xn, right? And we got something like this: x1 A star 1 plus x2 A star 2, so on, plus xn A star n, right? Now, a similar result is also true for rows. Like this was using the columns. So for example, if I had multiplied a row vector like this into a matrix A, right? So here row vector will have order what? 1 cross n, right?
Yeah.
Right? And one, no, this is m, 1 cross m, and this was m cross n. So final answer should be 1 cross n, no? Correct?
Yes.
So final answer, similarly you can write final answer like this: x1 into A 1 star plus x2 into A 2 star plus xn in xm into A m star. You will be able to convince yourself of that also in the same way that we got here. So think about the final product. Final product will be 1 cross n. So 1 cross n matlab one row only, right? C vector has n elements, Cn tak, and this is C 1 cross n, and this is 1 cross 1, right? Then there will be 1 cross 2, right? So see, 1 cross 1 will be what? This row into that column of it, no? Of A, right? When star is 1, the column, first column of A, you are going to multiply, no? Star is 1. So 1 1 2 1 3 1, right? That is all first column. See, you are understanding?
Yes.
So it's the same logic. The way you wrote this like this, similarly you can write this like this, right? So whether you multiply by a column vector or whether you multiply by a row vector, you still get the similar type of result, right? Now the reason we are doing it is because we want to be able to write the entire matrix multiplication in this way. So suppose A is m cross n and B is n cross p, right? Now the result is jth column of AB, the product, is A times the jth column of B, and this is a linear combination of the columns of A. Now it will be a little more clearer, because so first of all, remember what was happening, what is the meaning that we got when we did this, right? X1 x2 xn, right? And we wrote it as x1 A star 1, right, plus x2 A star 2, right? Correct. We wrote this like earlier we had written, no? A star n, right? So isn't this looking like a linear combination? Like this is like x1 x2 and all are scalars, right? And if you had enough terms here, this would be a vector, right? This is a linear combination, no? You will realize this soon when you think of what is AB. When you do a product of AB, right? AB.
So doesn't dot product give us scalar stuff?
What?
Dot product of n two stuff things gives us scalar things.
Dot product gives a scalar thing, yes. Why?
But for a linear combination of vector, I have to put vector equal to some vector, no?
Correct. Vector equal to some vector, but you will realize that this star is varying, no? So star is going to be a vector, right? It's a column vector. So we'll see soon. Wait 1 second. So what is the meaning of this? This is like the jth column of AB, no? Right? If I write like this, jth column of AB, how will you write? You will fix the J, no? And star can be anything, no? You understand? Fix the J. This is suppose AB matrix. If you fix the J, then jth column is this, right? This itself is a vector, no? It's a column vector, no? This. It's a column vector, no? It has what components? It has components like this: AB 1J, AB 2J, and so on. AB however many J, right?
NJ.
Number of rows jitna bhi hai, MJ, right? Correct. So isn't this a m-dimensional vector? Think of it. It has m components, no?
You picked out a column, no? It's just like you picked out a column and you're calling that a column vector.
Any column can be called as a vector. It is just a component, no? It says m components, n components, right? Any column of a matrix or a row of a matrix can be thought of as a vector. Because earlier, remember when we were doing the linear combinations and all, we were writing vectors only, no? When you do 3a plus 2b, if you wrote something like that, right? You would have written a as xi, yj, something, right? So you can represent that as a matrix, no? Like anytime you have an A vector, you will write three components of it. No, so three components, how will you write? You'll either write it like this, or you'll write it like this, right? You understand? So
Yeah.
this can be thought of as three parts of the A vector, right? And this is also a column vector or a row vector. You can call it anything. Okay, so that is fine. But right now think of the AB star J as meaning a column vector, no? Because you fix the column and you get M parts, right? Right? Correct.
Yeah.
So AB star J is like a column vector. Now this means, from the previous thing, this means you have to do A times the B1J, B2J till Bnj, right? To get this term, what you have to do? You have to multiply this, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now this is like multiplying a column vector with a matrix. So you can split it according to these lines. So you can say that this will be equal to B1J into A star 1 plus B2J into A star 2 plus Bnj into A star n. Now focus on A star 1. What is A star 1? It is fixing which column? One column, no? Fixing column 1 of A, right?
Yeah.
So this is like a column vector. This is like a column vector first column. This is the second column, right? Right.
Yes.
Correct. So you are basically multiplying it with a scalar, right? B1J. This is not IJ. By mistake, I've written IJ here. B1J. Right?
Yes.
Basically,
Scalar into some vectors.
right? So scalar into some vectors, no? And giving a final vector, right? Final column vector. Basically, what I'm saying is AB matrix, the product matrix columns are the linear combination of columns of the A matrix, right? This is what he's saying. The product matrix AB के columns, jth column of AB is A times the jth column of B. Okay. And what is that? What is that meaning of that? That is a linear combination of the columns of A. And what are the scalars in that? Because columns of A become itself are vectors, right? Columns of A themselves can be thought of as vectors. What are the scalars that will come there? The scalars that will come here is the jth column of A, B ke scalars, right? So let's do some simple multiplication and try to understand it. So let's say we have to multiply AB, right? A is a 2 cross 3 matrix and B is a, suppose, 3 cross 1 matrix, right? So in general, let's do it. B is 3 cross 4, suppose. So A 2 cross 3, just put some values, 1, 1, 2 rows and 3 columns. So 2, 0, 1, and 3 columns. So 1. Suppose this is my A, right? B is what? B is 3 cross 4. So 3 rows and 4 columns. 2 cross 3, am I doing it correctly? Yeah. 3 rows. So 3 rows, so 1, 4 columns. So 0, 1, 1, and 0, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 0, 0, 1, right? I have taken some simple values to just make it easier. Okay. So this is 3 cross 4, right? Okay. So now what was the theorem saying? Theorem was saying A cross B, the product, right? The product jth column of A cross B, right? Jth column of AB, right? Will be the linear combination of the columns of A Okay, linear combination of columns of A and which column of A? What will be the scalars? Scalars will be the elements of jth column of B, right?
Yes.
This was what the theorem was saying, no? So we will verify it. So theorem says this: linear combination of columns of A. Columns of A क्या क्या है? These are the vectors. These are the columns of A, right? Correct. Correct. And what is the third column of? What is the jth column of B? Jth column of B is some column of B, right? So let's take J is 2 here, right? Okay. So we are saying second column of AB should be equal to the scalars second column of B. Second column of B is which one? This one, right? Okay. I will just change it. I'll make it 1 here. Okay. So that something will come, right? Okay. Second column of B, right? And so second column of B के elements are this. So 0 into what should be the linear combination of columns of this, right? 0 into 1 0 plus 1 into 1 1 plus 1 into 2 1, right? This is what the theorem is saying. Okay. Second column of AB should always be this. Are you understanding what the theorem is saying? It's saying AB ka some column will be the linear combination of columns of A, where the scalars will be the jth column of B. Okay. So scalars are coming from here 0, 1, 1, and columns of A are this and this and this, right? Correct. So now let's do this. This is a linear combination. This will give a final answer as a vector, right? That will be the column of AB. So 0 into this will be 0 0 vector plus 1 1 plus 2 1, right? Correct. So this will become just vector addition. This is 1 1 plus 2 1 with 3 2. Answer should be 3 2. Second column of AB should be 3 2. So now do the multiplication. Answer should be 2 cross 4, no? The product should be 2 cross 4.
Yeah.
Right? So try to find the second column of the product. So let's do first column also. First column, if J was 1, I would have done 1 into scalars come from B, 1
Add 1
into
0,
0 and 1, right? And this will be same. So it will be 1 0 plus
So
2 1.
2
1 0 plus 2 1. So 3 1, right?
Sir, no.
Why?
So my second bracket becomes 0 0. No?
Second
My first
bracket becomes 0 0. Yes.
My first bracket becomes 1 0. No?
First वही तो किया है.
ठीक है.
और थर्ड वाला क्या आ रहा है? थर्ड वाला मेरा आना चाहिए J is equal to 2, J is equal to 3. मेरा क्या आना? Okay, just verify first. No. First वाला element क्या आना चाहिए था? Normal matrix multiplication if you do this dot this 1 into 1 plus 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1 3, right? Second row should have come what? This dot this 1 into 0 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1, again 3. It will all match, dude. It is wonderful and amazing. So
Is this like a faster way of doing the multiplication?
this is much faster because suppose you have to multiply A and B now, right? A and B. So if you have A, B, C, D, right? And multiply by E, F, G, H, right? Suppose. Actually, this is itself fast, but because I know how to do this. Dot product, dot product, dot product, dot product. This is itself fast, but one way to think of it is any column of the product, right? Any column of the product, if I want to write, right? That will be the linear combination of columns of A with the corresponding column of B, right? So it will be E times AC plus G times BD. That will be the first column because I have taken first column of B, no? That will be first column. So it will be EG plus B, EA plus BG. This will be EA plus BG by EC plus GD. This is my first column. And linear second column will be using these as scalars and same column. So F times AC plus H times BD will be just FA plus HB. FA plus HB by FC plus HD. You understand?
Yes.
So this is important because here you are expressing each entry. You're not thinking of it as entries, you're thinking of them as vectors. Okay, that is the difference. So when you earlier did a multiplication, you thought of each entry as the product of a dot product, right? Something like this you thought of it, no? So it was vector dot vector giving a scalar, and that was filling up the entries of your A dot A cross B, right? Now you are thinking of AX. You are saying that this is A, this is B. The final product is a combination of vectors, right? This is a vector, this is a vector, this is a vector, this is a vector, right? This vector, column vector, is a linear combination of A's vectors. A's vectors were what? This, right? And what are the scalars in that linear combination? Those are the column of B. Those are the columns of B. Okay. So scalars kya hai? If you are looking for the first column here, then the first column of B will give you the scalars. If you are looking for the third column here, third column of B should give you the scalars by which you have to multiply, right? So that is a very useful way to think about it. The same theorem can be extended, and you can write basically two parts to this theorem. This theorem is basically also known as the pick apart theorem. So you can pick apart the matrix AB, right? In terms of pick it apart in terms of column vectors, or you can also pick it apart in terms of row vectors. Same thing will apply in terms of row vectors also. So first, right now what we have said is jth column of AB is basically a linear combination of columns of A using jth column of B as scalars, right? Understand?
Yes, sir.
And the second version of it is ith row of AB is equal to linear combination of rows of B, okay, using ith row of A as scalars.
So don't erase it.
Yeah. So example, let's do a simple multiplication. 1 0 2 1 1 2 3 1. Okay. I will do the second thing. Okay. Second thing we have not yet seen. So we are going to say, we are going to fix up the rows of AB. Okay, so ith row of AB, first row of AB. Okay, that is a row vector. That vector will be linear combination of rows of B. This is A, this is B, right? Linear combination of rows of B using ith row of A as scalars. So first row of A is what? 1, 0, no? So 1 into rows of B are what? 1, 2 plus 0 into 3, 1. So this is just row vector 1, 2 plus 0, 0. So answer should be 1, 2. When you add these two vectors, what will come? 1, 2. Correct. And if I do the second one, it will be second row of A will give me the scalar. So 2 into and B. So 1, 2 plus 1 into 3, 1. So that will become 2, 4 plus 3, 1. That will be 5, 5.
1, 2. So wait, so don't erase it.
Now check it normally.
One into 3, 1. 2 into 4, 3 into 1. Fine.
Working out, no?
Digit, yeah.
So basically it's amazing stuff, because any column or any row of AB you should be able to get very easily using just the corresponding columns and rows of A and B, right? So they are all working out nicely as linear combinations. So if you are working in column method, you have to just know which one you have to take, right? If you're looking at jth column of, if you're looking at column vectors, then you use columns of A as the basis vectors, right? And scalars are coming from the B. And if you are using row vectors, then you use rows of B as the base, and scalars are coming from A. You understand? See, if you do normal multiplication, this is what comes, and this comes from here also, right? The advantage of this method will be when there are 2 cross 3, 4 cross 5, 3 cross 5, something like that, right? And you need some particular rows, right? It will be nice if you can get the row in one shot instead of doing dot product, dot product, dot product, right? Has everyone understood the thing that it is working?
Yes, sir.
So suppose you had a slightly bigger multiplication, no? So 2 cross 3 and 3 cross 5, right? So if the question, if it mattered only to find some particular row or column, right? Doing the multiplication really will be annoying, because this particular element you will have to do so many things, no? Dot product. If you do the regular method, to get one element, you have to do a full dot product, right? To get the second element, you have to do another dot product, right? You understand? But in this method, you can just say that, you can just immediately say that if you are looking at columns, I will use columns of this. I can just immediately write the column vector, or the final answer will be, uh, look at the appropriate column of the B vector, that will be the scalars. So basically B1j into A of A ka sare columns plus B2j A ke sare columns. You understand? And these are all individual vectors. So multiply it by scalars and just keep adding. This is very fast. So if you are looking at it in terms of row vectors, row vector, if you're looking at final product ke row vector you need, then use B's rows, right? Use B's rows and A's scalars. A ka row will give you the scalars and B's rows will give you the basis vectors. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you do some questions, then think of matrix multiplication not just by the standard method that you have been doing. Practice these methods because this will increase your speed by an order of magnitude. So do it by these methods so that you are like way faster than your competitors. And I think that should be so some properties of matrix multiplication you will see. You can prove it. Theorem: if A and B are symmetric, then AB transpose is equal to BA. Because AB transpose we saw earlier was B transpose A transpose, no? And B transpose was equal to B, no? And A transpose was equal to A because A and B are symmetric. Correct? This is an obvious theorem. Is everyone agreeing that this is okay?
Yes, sir.
Right? So then we have, if A is M cross N, B is N cross P, C is P cross Q, then ABC is same as A into BC. So associative property is true. Associative property works. Commutative does not work, associative works. Position of the bracket doesn't matter. Okay, you can do however you like. Okay, this is one thing. Then multiplication with the identity matrix always gives back the same matrix. AI is equal to IA is equal to A. So any matrix you have A, B, C, D, you multiply with 1, 0, 0, 1, you should get back A, B, C, D. Right? You can multiply and check. It will always work. Okay. Then next thing is a square matrix is n cross n is invertible and is invertible if there exists a square matrix. This is, let's call this A square matrix. If there exists a square matrix B such that AB is equal to I is equal to BA. Okay, then B is called matrix inverse of A. Matrix inverse of A, or B is basically called A inverse. This is what we had discussed earlier also. A matrix is invertible if there is another matrix with whom if you multiply you get the I. Right? AB is equal to BA is equal to I. That property has to be true for A or B to be inverse of each other. Right? Now,
So anything into I, it gives that same thing, no?
anything into I gives the same thing, but this is not the same thing. No? This is like two matrices are multiplying and getting UI, right? It is not multiplication by I, it is multiplication of two matrices to give I. If that happens, then A and B are inverses of each other, right? Now, one last thing. Let's try to understand this. If an n cross n matrix A is invertible and B is any column vector in R power n. What is the meaning of B is any column vector in R power n? Basically, B is a vector with n components. With n components. Basically, in n dimensional space. Normally, what we think of vectors is R cube in R power 3. It has 3 components in a physical space. But right now we are doing abstract things. B is a vector in column vector in R power n. That means it's like this. B 1 1 2 1 till B n 1. Right? This is a column vector in R power n. Now the system AX is equal to B has a unique
So,
column vector.
so can you just tell what does that mean again? RS to N.
RS to N. Wait one second. So X has its solution. So if a matrix is invertible, then this system will have a unique solution, unique column vector X as its solution, which is now going to follow from the properties of inverse that we have seen, which we have already earlier discussed. So this is nothing new. What I just want you to know is what is the meaning of a column vector with n components. This is in R is to n. Basically, in two-dimensional space, you say vectors have 2 components, right?
Yes.
So you will be able to write a vector using just 2 numbers, 1 2. This is 1I plus 2j, or you can also write it as 1 2. So this is a row vector representation, row vector, and this is a column vector. It's the same thing, right? So in 3 vectors in 3D space, you can write it as 1 2 3 or 1 2 3, right? In Rn space, B is a vector with n components, right? You have n dimensional space, suppose. So then vectors will have n components. So we are basically just saying a column vector with n parts, right?
So if in my row array has 1 and 2, that means 1I plus 2j, no? What you just wrote.
If you are thinking of it as a row vector, then yes, 1i plus 2j. And if you are thinking of it as a column vector, 1i plus 2j. That is just a way of writing it. That is not a big deal.
Doesn't like first column only mean I cap stuff? So if you write in a column form, then won't it become like 1I of something, then of 2I of some other vector? No.
No, then
But
you are
because-
talking about a matrix. Then if you have a matrix, right, then either you cannot do both at the same time. Okay, either you can think of this as a vector and this as another vector, or you can think of this as a vector and this as another vector, right? Like either this matrix meant 1 2, either it meant 2 vectors 1i plus 2j and 3i plus 4j, or it meant 2 vectors 1i plus 3j and 2i plus 4j, right? These are the 2 choices you have, right? Correct. So
Yeah.
so these are 2 different things. Like in different questions, whether you multiply, pre-multiply or post-multiply, that decides which one is it referring to. Like it depends on the question and the situation, whether you are referring to as row vectors or column vectors. You remember one part of that pick apart theorem had this, there was a row vector version of it also, no?
Yeah.
There was the second version where there was a row vector ahead and then there was a matrix, right?
Yeah.
And then we wrote it like that. So there you are pre-multiplying. No, you are not doing AX. Earlier we had written this. You remember when I was doing the derivation earlier, we had written this first and then written it as star star and all, x1 1 and a star 1, right?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
remember eighth column, A ka columns, and star was there for the columns, and x11. This was the vector, right? So when you do a post multiplication, m cross n, n cross 1, then this is a vector. Then a column vector has been taken, right? Then column vector has been taken. Then a also, you will have columns of A will be vectors, right? If columns of A are vectors, then means components have been taken like this, I, J, like this, right? Columns. But if you do it in an opposite way using row vector notation, x1, x2, xn, and you do this multiplication with A like this, then first of all, this has to be m, right? M cross 1 or something. You have to be worried about the order. So if this is n, then what happens here? How many? 1 into n it is, right? And this has to be n cross m. No. For multiplication to make sense. Basically, you have to put m here if you want to stick to the same matrix. This has to be m dimensional, right? And now rows, now you can pick it apart again and get scalars and all. But ultimately, it depends on the question and setting, is what I'm saying. It depends
Yes.
on what setting. So you could make a matrix using these vectors, or you could make a matrix using these vectors, but both formulations will not be mixed. In one question, you'll not use the same in two ways, right? So that is a choice that you have. This theorem is very obvious, because if the matrix has an inverse, then you can do the pre-multiplication with this, which we have already seen. So this becomes I, and X becomes A inverse B. So the next thing to do in next class, what we'll do is conditions for inverse to exist and finding inverse and all of that stuff. Okay. So right now, this much is for today. Next class onwards, we'll do inverse and how to get inverse and conditions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that will be on Monday, I think. Monday or Tuesday. Monday, I think. So make sure that you are just read some basic books also, and please watch that playlist, guys. Have you watched it again? No, nobody has watched it. No,
I watched the first 2 episodes.
recently after the last class.
Yeah.
Sparsh, you have not seen it. No,
No.
that this is homework till Monday. Please watch it and come. Because if you watch it, then you will realize all of this linear combination stuff will start making a lot more sense. This linear combination and transformations will start making a lot more sense. That is homework. Now it is compulsory homework. You have to watch it and come. Watch at least 7-8 videos. Till video number 8, season 3, it's a linear algebra playlist in 3 blue, 1 brown. Linear algebra playlist. Linear algebra playlist in the channel 3 blue, 1 brown. Just watch till 7-8 8 videos at least till video number 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Before Monday. Okay. That's it for today then. Okay. Bye.
Bye.